Okay, guys, what we're going to do here is we're just going to go over this first drive. And really, it's not even so much, I think there's a lot interesting here. It's more of what did OU do? And then later in the game, we can kind of talk about what was different. So I think this gives us some perspective and how to kind of track this going forward. All right, so let's get rolling with this. I believe Missouri just going to run off right tackle here, if I'm not mistaken on this one. No, it's a throw. That's right. That's right. I had the right side, but definitely not not a run. So here again, like I said, I kind of want to track what they're doing up front. So you've got five, five on the line of scrimmage. Bowen's. Let me get my pen here. Bowen's responsible for Hardy. Maybe he. Let's see. Let's see if we can read what Bowen's doing here a little bit. Yeah, he's got Hardy, and then he comes down once he sees that's not happening. And he's got help. I know people say, oh, he got a little aggressive. You can see Robert Spears Jennings over here being ready to kind of have his back there. And I can tell you guys, there's going to be some moments here I'm going to call the wrong players. It is brutal to watch some of this. All right, so go on to the next play. We'll try and make this move. Missouri went so slow on this drive. It was, again, the first quarter and change are just game script. It's exactly what Missouri wanted to do. It's exactly the way they wanted the game to go. And I fast-forwarded through the play once we got to it. That sounds about right, doesn't it? Okay, so what do they bring? Heineke off the backside here. Kip Lewis gets caught in the trash a little bit. Makes a good tackle. I mean, Oklahoma doesn't defend this poorly. It's just what Missouri does is just not something you see every day. And you could tell they obviously they'd practice for it, but the speed wasn't quite the same. And you can see it. Look at him talking on the sideline there. He's like, "Oh, you were so close, man. You about busted that." Because it looks for a second here like Hardy's got look, hat. I mean, they're hat. This guy's washed. If Kip doesn't make this tackle, man, he's out of the barn. It's a problem. Pretty impressive though. Look at Robert Spears Jennings here, probably giving up 120 pounds to this gentleman right here, and he fights, man. That's not bad, not bad at all. You got Dominic Williams trying to make a tackle from the ground. I mean, that's part of why this defense is so good. I mean, it's obvious, it's well coached. Brent Venables does an incredible job. We know all that stuff, all the position coaches. We know Oklahoma has one of the best defensive staffs in the country. There's no question about it. At the same time, they have cultivated a group that just they're going to give you every inch. Everything they've got to give you, they're going to give it. So, I think it just shows up time and time again. Okay, so here, OU's got a 5 down front. They've got 2 up tight. You can see them sneaking up closer. They're getting tighter now. After that first play, they gave up some some room. David Stone with the rec specs. I just couldn't love that more. That had such a great look. All right, so Missouri. I mean, look at that kid. You gonna tell me that kid's hurt? That is amazing. That is amazing that he's out there doing what he's done with what I heard about that injury. Some of that's just bad luck. I mean, you look at it, so you've got Cortland Guillory here running with the receiver. Robert Spears Jennings, really nice. Look at it, it's not something that's going to show up on tape, but watch him fall off the underneath route. And he feels this crosser behind him, and he falls right into it. Purbule's about to throw that ball, and it's going to be a completion. It probably is a decent gainer too. It's definitely a first down because the receiver does a great job using the umpire there for the pick. Cortland Guillory hits him. Of course, not Guillory's fault or anything, but Purbulle can't do it because Spears Jennings. So here we go. So here's the receiver. He's going to run this way. Spears Jennings sees this, but he feels this, and he reads Purbulle's eyes, and he starts falling off. Purbulle wants to pull the trigger, smartly doesn't, and then he ends up picking up some yardage just because. I mean, look, Robert Spears Jennings is the guy that makes that tackle. I feel like he's a guy that gets called out a lot on, when you notice him, because as a safety, he gets put in isolated stuff sometimes, and Robert's decent in coverage. He's not elite in coverage, or at least in man situations, but that's true of most safeties. That's the reason they're safeties and not corners. Like, you can't leave them on islands against speed receivers and expect them to win very often. That's not the way that goes. But again, I want to sing his praises when he does do something well because I think he is a good player. Mod Hardy's tough, man. Just a tough friggin' kid. You're not going to arm tackle that dude. Not ever. Yeah, I mean, Owen Heineke, and I heard Ted mention it in their thing, the Oklahoma Breakdown. Don't want to dismiss it as some little thing. And he talked about Heineke playing really hard. He's doing all this, but he's overrunning stuff, and he is. Like, I mean, and I hate to, this sounds dismissive, but he's a try-hard guy. And when you do that, sometimes he's just 100 miles an hour all the time, and that's great until your high-level effort is hurting your ability to make the simple stuff. Like that, this is an easy play. He needs to make this play. And again, it's 3 or 4 yards? Sure. And in this situation, it doesn't really feel like it matters. But in a later game, in a bigger moment, that play could be everything. So, again, it's not to say that Owen Heineke didn't play well. I thought he did. But you've seen this. It's kind of becoming a pattern over recent weeks where he's just a little too eager. He's not breaking down. He's not doing, he's not getting himself kind of under control. I'm trying to remember what Brent Venables used to call it in camps, downshifting or revving down or something like that. And that is, it's just, you got to come in under control. And sometimes he doesn't do that. That kid's going to be good. The Olabode, or however you say his last name, that kid's going to be a good football player. Super impressed with him as I was doing prep stuff for them last week, and then as I obviously watched him in this game, I thought he had some really good moments. Look at Missouri, man. I mean, just everything snaps under 10. Every snap's under 10. They're just trying to eat the life out of that clock. And doing it from word go. They wanted to shorten this game so much. And, I mean, again, it was working right until it didn't. $12, $11, $10, $9. I mean, it just, again, man, it was game script for them for a huge chunk of the first half. There's Ahmad Hardy, man. I'm telling that dude is a monster. And that was the play. He didn't look really right from this point forward. Like, don't get me wrong, he was, you know, Oklahoma would kill to have a back that was healthy as he was for the rest of this game, but it definitely didn't look the same to me. Is that PJ? No, it's Marvin Jones. Really, really good penetration there from Marvin Jones. Got held. Was that guy just holding on to his arm? Yeah. What I'm always impressed by with Oklahoma is and maybe, you know, you get so many people that ask, like, why doesn't OU get more holding calls? Best D-line in the league, and there's no holding calls. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot more room for the holds that they don't get. But what I will say, you don't see OU play for it a lot. Like, you know, hey, look, man, I got grabbed here. Like, look at Marvin Jones. A lot of guys, you'd see him throwing up that outside arm. You know, like, look, trying to draw attention from the referee. And you don't see them do that very often. I guess maybe I noticed this, and then Crimson Corner members will know this, and some who follow me on Twitter certainly will as well. Big soccer guy. Those guys, if they get fouled, they let you know they got fouled. Like, or even if they didn't sometimes, they want you to think they got fouled. So it's interesting because I've always hated that, but the same psychology, you don't see OU doing this kind of stuff. So it's kind of interesting to follow. Oh, sorry. There we go. Hey, they snapped one. I guess it was dead clock, so it didn't matter. Reggie Powers, man. I know we're going to talk about his mistake later in the game, but he had a good game. He played well right until the penalty and the targeting. And again, there was nothing malicious in it, but it's exactly the kind of thing they don't want you doing. And I think it's hey, helmet to helmet, 15-yard, okay, fine. You want to call that? Fine. Because he did. He directed the contact at the helmet. He didn't have to do it. He let, like, all the hallmarks, like, that you don't want in the game. Like, and I get it. That's the safety thing, and it's good for everybody. That's fine. I would like that to be the thing where, again, to me, if you want to say helmet to helmet and make that a 15-yard penalty, that's fine. I think you go back and say, was this malicious? Was a kid trying to hurt somebody? Did this look aggressive? Or, you know, the thing that I always compare it to is spearing back in the old days of football when they'd spear a pile. Once they started calling that, it stopped happening because it's too big a penalty. It's not worth it. And you're not like, you can see it. Like, when it's there, you're like, yep, that's a thing. Helmet to helmet isn't targeting. Targeting implies intent. I say it every time. Most of the time when you see helmet to helmet contact, there's nothing to do with intent. It has nothing to do with the game. So again, sorry. We'll get into that rant later. I guess I may have given most of it already. But anyway, let's keep moving here. Oklahoma kind of stiffens up here. I believe they get the stop here on 3rd and 6. But, I mean, you see it. Oklahoma not being super aggressive up front. I want to see this hit. I thought they were a little lucky. I mean, Taylor Wine playing with fire a little bit there to not get the penalty on that one. So I heard Eddie and the guys talking on the postgame pod about how Drinkowitz had mentioned the kickers, it was too slow. His process was too slow, and that's why they ended up pulling him on the 3rd kick. Kind of wanted to see this. Yeah, I mean, I know it seems small, but, like, ball snapped, you've got to time this out to where you're moving. Like, not... Yeah, it all looks, because I mean, you watch this replay. Look how close Peyton is to it the first time. And I think part of that difference too may have been the first one, Peyton kind of jumps at it. The second one, he dives. Like he lays out for it full go. Now, maybe he did that because the first one he didn't think he could have gotten to, and so, there's that mental math he's doing, in milliseconds. But the second one, there was certainly more commitment to it. Yeah. So there's your guy, OU fans. Let's end on that.